Okay, so this video is going to be just a little overview of kind of how I stored some of these things for the winter. Um, well, first let's go to the laziest method down here. Basically, these are Sarracenia purpurea, another purpurea, and then a hybrid here. This is pretty much frozen solid. Normally I'd be kind of paranoid about that, but I think the purpurea can handle it because these grow as far north as Canada, and of course in the wild they're, at surface level. Should be fine with freezing. If not, it's really not that expensive to get another purpurea, so left them outside. We'll just do a little experiment. There was some Drosera rotundifolia in there somewhere, so we'll see if that survives as well. So kind of an experiment with that. And then over here, we've got the standard kind of thing, if you haven't seen me. Oh, wait. Also, we have the ginkgo biloba trees. Now here's a good test to see if something's still alive. If it's flexible, that should mean that it's still alive. So even though this is, frozen solid, I didn't have enough heating cable, and then I thought, well, they should be able to survive the winter since, they're northern trees. So we'll just kind of see how that goes with those things, because I just, it wasn't really anything super special to me. So, the things that I do care about a little bit more, though, are, of course, the larch and the Dawn Redwood, and these should be good. I mean, same kind of test. The branches are all still very flexible, so that means that they're not dying. The juices are still flowing through it. Basically, if you've watched my previous wintertime bonsai video, what I do is I put heating cable in the bottom, then I just fill it with blankets. What I did for this one is kind of like some kind of cable that heats up to prevent pipes from freezing. And I mean, it's not too effective, actually. I mean, yeah, this is still kind of frozen solid. Just because right now it's been kind of like the coldest part of the year so far, where it's been, I don't know, like negative 10 Fahrenheit, negative 5 Fahrenheit. Today, I don't know, I think right now we're hovering right around 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, I mean, it's cold. It's cold enough to freeze the soil. But I've toned back a little bit on how much I care about that. Because if you've seen last year's video, this larch actually started sprouting in February. So we are keeping them a little bit colder, but they should be fine. Here's kind of the evergreen corner, and I do have a Sarracenia purpurea here, and it's still frozen. So this is not building a whole lot of heat. The cable is still working, so maybe, I don't know, the insulation is just bad. What I kind of tried was just a bunch of bubble wraps, random rags I had, these kind of bubble things, towels, blankets, just to help trap that heat. And as you can see, the foliage has a little bit of a gray color look to it. Feels harder. Especially on the juniper. It's a little bit like tougher foliage, but that's kind of how it was last year. I mean, it's kind of like the general rule: if it's still flexible and not breaking off, it should be all good. Maybe it's just the light in here because we have fluorescent lights and it's cold and they're not working that great. But yeah, I mean, let's see, the soil. Actually, that's a little soft, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll know on this one, on the juniper. I mean, yeah, the soil is freezing. I mean, at least it's not getting severely frozen. The heating cable helps a little bit. Being in the garage helps a little bit. I mean, I started kind of feeling a little weird about it because I'm sure that, all the bonsai nurseries don't run out and get heating cable for every single tree they have, although they might have a climate-controlled greenhouse. But, I kind of figured they should be able to tough it out this year. So it's very minimal heat. A lot of stuff is frozen, but it should be fine. So I guess we'll see in the springtime who survived and who didn't.